What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a look at the last character from Wave 5 of the Transformers trading card game, which is really sad, like really sad, but unfortunately it's here. Well, technically the last two characters. We do have a body and a head, but after this we've got to wait till next. Well, usually promos come out slightly earlier, but gotta wait for the next lot of promos. But for now, we can take a look at Topspin. He's a wrecker, don't you know? And a spaceship. Let's have a chat. So starting off, we got a 9-star bot. Was initially shared with no star cost. I predicted 9. I feel extremely proud of myself that it did in fact turn out to be 9. And we've got about the stats we would expect. Health of 14 is pretty high. Attack of 4 or 5 is okay or pretty good. And defense of 1, that ain't good, ladies and gentlemen. That ain't good. But you are a specialist, and specialist is good. We'll get there in a moment. Starting off then with the stats in bot mode, when this attacks and you flip at least one white icon, draw a card. Simple as that. Drawing one card isn't particularly great, I'll be honest with you. But what they're basically doing here is going, look, you're only drawing one card. Drawing one card isn't particularly good. It's fine. But what they've done to compensate is make it nice and easy to actually pull it off. We have had a whole bunch of characters that can draw 2 cards, for instance, but there's always something else going on. We can look at the Bumblebee that I absolutely love, the Trusted Lieutenant, the one from Wave 2, and that, when it attacks, lets you draw 2 cards. But you've got to scrap an action card from your hand in order to do so, which is a little bit awkward. Wave 1 Chromia is probably the closest we've had to this. That lets you draw 2 cards, and it is dependent on flipping white icons. But you've got to flip 2 white icons to draw 2 cards. And that is really getting into the realm of having to play an overly white deck. Here, I mean, as long as you're playing a decent amount of white icons, you should hit this moderately often. And of course, if you want to get all kind of bold, well, every bold is 1 more card flipped while attacking, which means your chances of flipping a white icon are greatly increased. I mean, if you go giving this bold 2, 3, 4, etc., with enough white icons in the deck, you can pretty much rely on drawing a card, whereas something like Chromia, you just can't, unfortunately. So we like this. Definitely better if you're playing a bit of bold, and we'll get onto that in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to come back round again. And you need to be playing a few white icons. But going over into alt mode here, when you defend, you have tough until end of battle equal to the bold total. Oh. So if you've got bold 3, you've got tough 3. If you've got bold 7, you've got tough 7. Now, some things here aren't going to work, right? Something like Supercharge that gives you bold 3 on an action card isn't going to work, because that only works for your turn, boo, hiss, etc. Never mind. But if you've got something on there like Power Punch, for instance, then all of a sudden you absolutely can. Power Punch is... I really like Power Punch, right? It's a great example here. Because it gives you bold 3, and after you attack, you scrap the card. But it also now gives you tough 3, except it doesn't fall off when you... See where we're going with this? It doesn't fall off when you defend. So Power Punch here, and any bold thing that falls off, is a little bit of a cheat. Because you give yourself bold 3... which means you've actually got tough 3, and it only falls off when you attack, so for the whole time you're defending, you can actually have a card that gives you tough 3 and be cheating a little bit. And let's be clear, right, getting tough 3 is not something that is easy to do. Body armor gives you tough 3, but body armor only works for melee characters. This isn't a melee character, so you wouldn't be able to use it. Uh-oh. Evasive Maneuvers gives you tough 3, but Evasive Maneuvers does fall off when you defend. Oh, yeah. So it doesn't work for all that long. Heat of Battle will give all characters bold 3 and tough 3 until the end of the turn. except you can't actually do that because you can't play that. Well, okay, it's hard to play it on your opponent's turn. Hidden Fortification is a secret action that will give you tough free as just a one-off deal, which, to be honest, will work, but it's then your action card for the turn, etc. And there are all the options we've had so far. That is every option. I'm searching on fortressmaximus.io. Brilliant website for research. Highly recommended. And they are all the ways of getting tough free. Here, you can basically cheat your way into tough free using Power Punch. Honestly, this is a kind of thing that actually really makes me want to use Superior Cannon. Superior Cannon is one of those cards that has to be played after tech research. It's really awkward. However, it gives you bold 4. But remember that it will now also give you tough 4 because you have got tough equal to your bold. Yeah. I absolutely love this. This is the kind of card that I think people are going to kind of break wide open. I've just given you an example of Power Punch and Superior Cannon. I think they are the two, let's say, cheekiest ways to use it. But, oh, I like Topspin. Topspin is one of those characters that I think kind of cheats a little bit. Because you're using cards in the way that they're not intended to give yourself bonuses that you were never intended to get. And now, I mean, I told you I was underwhelmed by the stats, and I was. But if you're giving me a 9-star character and you can start abusing other cards like that, this is really good. And then we go back to Topspin in bot mode for a moment. Remember how I said we want to have lots of bold so we can flip that white icon and draw a card? Having lots of bold will help. Although, to be honest with you, alt mode has got the skill which gives you tough equal to your bold, and it gives you an extra attack, and you're a spaceship. The only thing that body mode has is that draw a card when you flip a white. So you're going to need a pretty compelling... You're going to really need to have the draw here in order to actually justify using it. Now, the good news is you are a specialist, and the card I absolutely adore here is Field Communicator, one of my favourite cards, and I did reveal it, so we all know at this stage that I'm biased. But when you put it on a specialist, you scrap the top card of your deck, but you may instead play it. And it has a white icon. Love specialists. Remember that multi-mission gear has been banned, but you can still play multi-tool to play an extra upgrade when you attach an upgrade. That could be fun. Something to look into here. And being a spaceship is not particularly impressive. The only actual support we've got for spaceships at the moment is unconventional flying object. But the problem is, all that lets you do is flick into bot mode and then back again, which means that you need to have a skill that activates when you flip to one of the modes, and this doesn't, which makes unconventional flying object, I don't want to say garbage card, but I do want to say that it's not good. It's got a blue icon and does nothing good. No, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a fan. But I love that it's a specialist, and I love that alt mode skill. I think that's the trick for Topspin here. I think Topspin here, it's all about the alt mode skill. Simple as that. Now, we do have a head here, but once again, the suggested head, the one that's been revealed with him, is not the head that I'm going for. The head we've got here is Freeze Out, and Freeze Out comes along as a 3-star head that gives you tough 2. It's fine. We've seen the way the heads are being revealed. We're getting a suite of heads. This is your middle-of-the-road tough head. Gives you tough 2 for 3 stars. It's not the only head we've got that gives you tough. I mean, I need to give a shout-out to the lovely Alex Brock over on the Facebook group here, who keeps updating a lovely image, which makes it very, very easy to follow this along. We can get tough 1 on Vorath, who comes in as a 1-star head. Or if you want to go up and get bigger, badder tough, you can pop up and get Flintlock, which gives you tough 3, but comes in as a 4-star head. And this is something we've seen quite a lot. Honestly here, I don't want tough. I want bold. because I'm going to be flicking mostly in alt mode. I'm going to be playing the majority of the game in alt mode. And when I'm in alt mode, right, I've got tough equal to my bold, so I want to be pushing the bold. I want to be using characters. I mean, if I want a 3-star head, I want to be using Flame Out to give myself bold to, rather than Freeze Out to give myself tough to. I'm going for the bold heads with Topspin, and honestly, I'm going as bold as I can. If I've got the space, I'm playing Clobber, the 4-star head that gives me bold free, and then also gives me tough free, and then I'm starting to look pretty good. I'm a 13-star character and my stats aren't great, but I've got minimum bold free and tough free before we even get going. That sounds pretty good to me. As for Freeze Out itself as a bot, I'm not impressed. It's got tough too, but you've got free health and 0 defense. Most of these bots, remember when the bot gets KO'd, the body deploys as a bot. I'm just not impressed, right? Generally speaking, no. No. They're going to go down in one hit, and tough 2 isn't going to stop that. Free health is alright. It means it's going to take a bolt of lightning, and it won't go down to a marksmanship, I suppose. But that's about the best thing we can say about it. There are 2 things that I want from my heads when they're deployed as bots. I'm going to get 1 decent shot before I get 1 hit. So I want to be able to have a decent shot, and I want to make sure my opponent has to attack, rather than taking me out with cheeky damage. Maybe the free health keeps me alive long enough to be attacked. It probably will. Although the combination of armed hovercraft and marksmanship will take me out, and a bunch of decks do play that. But I'm not hitting very hard. I'm not loving it. For Topspin especially, I do think you want to go for one of the bold heads. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's all of them. That's all of the characters from Wave 5. I'm a little bit upset, I'll be honest with you. I'm enjoying looking at these characters. I would like to have more to talk about. But do remember that in the not too distant future, we'll have more promos and more sets, etc. And I will be there to show you all of them as they come around, because that's the kind of guy that I am. And of course, I'm sure we can find plenty more Transformers things to talk about between now and then. But for now, I'd just like to know what you think about this, so let me know in the comments section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy. That's where we talk Transformers and a whole bunch of other games. And do please consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, all that kind of good stuff. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wassy Plays.